Hi sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Beth, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm sharing about the second block in a series of 10. Here's the block I did last week, and it will be in the list of videos. My quilt along is called Pink Stars, and this is the Pink Star number 2. So I'm going to show you how to make this block. I've added a little blue to my quilt. It's going to be a sampler quilt. Of course, you could make a bunch of blocks just like this one. You don't have to do all the stars, just make one star. Have fun. It's fun to sew. It's fun to pull scraps out of your scrap basket, put some colors together. Let's get started. For our block today, we need a center square of background fabric, 3.5 inches. Then I have 4-inch squares, 2 pinks and 2 blues that I'll be making my half square triangles with. Then I'll need some almost 5-inch squares, pink, and some background fabric. And you'll see my background fabric doesn't match, but it's all very low volume, creamy, white, small print. That's what I'll be using. I take my 4-inch squares for my half square triangles, and I'll put them right sides together, and I'll draw a line, diagonal line, to make my 4 half square triangles using these 4 squares, pinks and blues. And then to make an hourglass block, I'll be using a little bit larger squares, almost 5 inches. Like I said, I was not exact because I know that I'm going to be trimming these down just a little bit. And 5 is generous. 4.5 might be a little bit too tight. So do what you are more comfortable with on that score. I have my lines drawn, so now I will sew on either side of that pencil line to make my units. First I'll do the half square triangles, and then we'll start making our hourglass block. To make our hourglass block, we take our 2 half square triangles, and I'm going to put them right sides together, opposite directions. The pink and the whites are facing each other, and I want to try to get that seam to really nest, especially there in the middle. And then I'll draw a line through the center, and I'll be sewing on either side of that pencil line. So I kind of push and feel, get those seams together and get that lined up. And then I will draw my line and sew 2 seams on either side. Everything needs to be trimmed now to 3.5 inches, and you need to really pay attention to that seam line. Hopefully you have a diagonal line on your ruler that you can line up with your seam. It's time to lay out the block. This is a really pretty one, And this is the second block of our little quilt along sampler, and it's the first block with blue. Not all of the blocks will have blue, but this is a nice soft reproduction type print with that pretty blue. And I'll make sure that my hourglass blocks are laid out correctly, and then I'll sew the rows together and put the squares together, 3, 3, 3, and then I'll put the rows together using pins at the seams to make sure everything comes together nicely. This is turning out to be such a pretty block. I love the addition of the blue, and I think I need to go to the store and look for some more of that pretty blue to add to my quilt. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.